Namaste. Are we all good?
Yes.
And has everyone been doing their practices regularly?
Yes.
Any observations, anything to share, anything that came into your notice? Sharmila ji, maybe we can begin with you.
Sir, I feel it's becoming easy day by day because consciously now I feel I need not check whether when I'm inhaling and exhaling, whether it is, from bottom to top is happening or not. But when I notice it's happening properly, without my intervention and thinking that I have to do it from top. So it has become easier day by day. It's becoming easier.
Excellent.
To do the Hanuman breath.
And stomach is relaxed as well.
Yes.
So belly is reaching slowly deeper levels of relaxation, I hope. But let
Yes.
it come into your experience. Very good. Vasanti ji has taken a break, it seems. But maybe Aruna ji?
It's becoming easier day by day. And
Okay.
hour by hour also.
Okay. Very good.
Hourly basis and then
Okay.
daily basis. And
Okay.
increase, I feel too much increase in my freshness.
Okay. Too much increase in your freshness. I like the way you say that.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. So that means you're feeling more energetic, a little more.
More
Uh,
energetic.
yes. And are you noticing anything else anywhere else in any other areas of your life?
Some tingling sensation in my bulging veins behind the knee.
Okay. So in the area of your varicose veins, there is a little bit of a tingling sensation. Interesting.
Tingling sensation.
Okay. So observe over time, see if there is a reduction in the kind of bulging or kind of, it becomes like a guchha, as we say in Hindi, but I don't know, like a not a ball really, but
Bunch of things also.
Beside the knee,
yeah.
inside the knee side, there is some spider like
Yes.
spider net like veins appearing. I
That's right.
touch this portion and feels like there is a too much net like spider net like
Yeah,
sensation.
if you run your fingers over it, you'll feel that the nerves, the kind
Then
of.
I used to massage with oil. Then I feel too
Okay.
much pain in that area.
Oh, okay. Hopefully, soon you'll see an improvement there. Okay, very good. Aditi ji, all good?
Well, I mean, on the whole, I'm feeling better.
Nice.
And honestly, since I don't have a pain to start with,
True,
I
true.
can't say where
Compare
I'm
with
feeling
anything,
better.
correct?
Precisely. I mean, I don't have anything to compare. The
Mm,
other day in the MRI thing,
mm.
that pain was present because
Ah,
I was there, as in. But I don't know it. It's not really a nice thing to have that. Well, you can do
mm,
something nice only when there is something bad threatening
so
you
true.
or
No, but
bothering
then,
you. But that's okay.
Hanumanji got you started with the Hanuman Master Breath anyways. So
Yeah,
that
I
must
didn't
have.
know what it was.
Mm,
All I knew
mm,
was that I came out of that, and then my partner was there to pick me up, and I said, "You first get me a cup of coffee, and then I
mm.
talk." And I must have had coffee after like 2 months or so, because
Wow.
I've been completely off coffees and teas and all.
Ah, okay.
But then that was that. That was just a kind
Mm.
of not nudge, but a push. But then fine, and
Ah,
next day on we started.
so great. Yeah, very good. And well, seeing you happier, etc., makes Vasanti ji very happy as well. She starts
Yeah,
glowing inside. Yeah, and that's so nice. Oh, by the way, in case you don't know, they are mother and daughter. Uh,
I mentioned earlier. Yeah.
oh,
I'm her
mentioned that.
mother. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I like that. All right. Okay, Vasanti ji, what about you? Are you noticing any effect, any change, anything coming into your observation? Any
ठीक हो
remission in
रहा
the
है,
pain?
ठीक हो रहा है।
Pain कम
मुझे
हो
भी
रहा है?
आज जरा ज्यादा फ्रेश लग रहा है, ज्यादा समय तक कर पाई हनुमान
हम्म,
ब्रीदिंग।
हम्म। आज
समय
आपकी वॉइस क्वालिटी भी बेटर है।
हाँ, आज ये भी किया,
श्वासकोश।
श्वासकोश भी किया और
हम्म,
हनुमान ब्रीदिंग 4-5 बार किया,
हम्म।
क्योंकि
गार्गल।
कंटिन्यूसली चलते वक्त, काम करते वक्त नहीं होता।
अच्छा, वो
बैठ
जितना
के
धीरे धीरे
हाँ,
रेगुलर हो जाएगा उतना अच्छा होगा। गार्गल भी किया आपने?
क्या कहा?
गार्गल, गरारा।
हाँ, वो भी किया सुबह,
गरारा भी
इसीलिए
किया।
तो आज थोड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है।
अच्छा लग रहा, हाँ। दैट्स गुड, वेरी गुड।
Yeah.
सो
तो यहाँ पे जम गया है। इट इज
हाँ, तो
इट इज
अभी
हियर।
कुछ दिन अभी कुछ दिन तो आप गरारा करके करिए, और फिर कुछ दिन बाद में हो सके तो जल नेति भी सीख लीजिए।
आई डू इट,
तो
आई डू
जल
इट।
नेति, हाँ, बट जल नेति के देयर आर सर्टेन वेज ऑफ डूइंग इट। Little, if you use a copper pot, very good, otherwise whatever, but at the water should be a little warm, just a little warm, with a bit of salt inside. So
आई नो जलनेती, आई यूज्ड टू
हाँ,
टीच
हाँ,
अदर्स।
हाँ, okay, I'm so
My
sorry.
pot,
I'm
no,
so
no,
sorry.
it's okay. But my pot, etc., everything I left in Delhi, so I had to buy new set
You
for
can buy it
myself.
online. You can buy it online. It's
Yeah,
easily
yeah,
available
yeah,
nowadays.
yeah,
If you can't get a copper pot, you can use something else also. They
yeah.
have
Yeah.
many types. Steel is
In
there,
Sriracha,
plastic
they
is
have
there.
given us the plastic one only.
I know, but somehow plastic is. I use a plastic one, but but I don't want to use it. I'm looking for a good copper Jal Neti pot, but I haven't found it anywhere. I I ordered once. I got something, but the edges were a little rough.
Yeah,
So
that's the problem.
if the edges are rough, and if you do it with that, you can hurt yourself or something. So I didn't want to use it. It's still lying around somewhere, but I don't use that. So I'm looking around for a good copper Jal Neti pot. If I can find something, or if you know somewhere where you can get it, I'd love
I'll
to.
also look for it. If you
Yes,
prefer copper, I never
yes,
thought of
definitely.
copper pot,
Yeah,
but
copper is best.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So everybody should do a little bit of Jalneti if you don't do it. It's a great way to cleanse this whole area. This whole area to cleanse it. It's very good. And since we are doing Hanuman Master Breath, and you are consciously moving your breath upwards, up the spine, at some point of time, you may find that you have some issues with your throat. All the stuff that is moving up the spine can come and collect in this area and then in the chest area also. So please gargle. Gargle with hot water if you can, warm water, reasonably warm water with some salt. And if you like, you can also make a tea infusion or a chai ka pani, green tea, red tea, both are good. black tea, whatever. They are both good, no problem. But make sure the patta, the leaf doesn't go in. So you'll have to strain it. I use a tea bag, so there's no problem.
Okay.
I gargle regularly. I gargle regularly because I had an issue with my throat earlier, COPD, throat and lungs. So gargle every day if you can, and then over time try to also include Jalneti in your practices. Very good. See, how should I say this? There is a plumbing system in your house, let's say. Not let's say everyone has plumbing system in the house. If there is scaling in the plumbing system, if there is a deposit in the plumbing system, then the flow of water will get affected. Similarly, with the water that is, that's desired to move out, the drainage system, if there are any blockages over there, etc., then dirty water will begin to flow back into your apartment or house or whatever.
Yeah.
So keeping them clean is very important.
Yes.
The same thing happens with our nadis. Because the nadis are not something that are visible to the eyes, because the nadis are not in our direct experience or awareness, we don't know what is happening with the nadis. So as blockages start happening, or as some kind of effect is there because of lifestyle issues, food, and stress, etc., etc., if these nadis start getting a little blocked, etc., it'll start affecting every aspect of our lives, mentally, physically, emotionally, intellectually, in everywhere. Keeping the system cleansed, cleared, is very important. Since Sushumna is your main nadi, if you work directly on the Sushumna, there is a runoff on the other nadis. It may not impact them directly so much, but there is a runoff. So sometimes I speak to some people about it. Sometimes I tell them that your breath can sometimes actually be like a vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
What you are doing now with your Hanuman Master Breath, as you pull your breath up the spine, you are basically doing a very gentle form of vacuum cleaning. See what you're doing? You're pulling your breath up the spine. So there is a subtle energy involved in the pull. Do you get what I'm saying? Just as
Yeah.
a vacuum cleaner, just as a vacuum cleaner works, it has a suction. Of course, it's much more powerful, but it has a suction. It draws up whatever is in that vicinity and pulls it up, and then collects it in a bag and so on. So in the human system, the bag or whatever happens to be in this area, in the throat area. There are certain filters here. That's my layman's understanding of it. See, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not trained to be a doctor. I'm an uneducated, rasta chalta person who is only observing whatever is coming into his awareness through his own, you know, body or equipment or whatever. So sometimes I think of my body as my laboratory and breath as my, the instruments for the experiments. So I do this, I do my observation, and whatever comes into my understanding, I try to get a better, more clarity. If I can find any validation somewhere in certain papers or certain articles written by someone, very good. Otherwise, until it becomes clearer, I play with it, understand it, and then share it.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You are talking Rigveda. Ruk means to read, know, and
Uh,
Ved means to have experience. So your
okay.
knowledge is from experience.
Yes, yes, yeah.
That is
It is
Rigveda.
from
Yeah,
experience.
yeah.
Yes, it is important. Yeah. So
Very
this is
important.
how, yeah, and breath somehow is my field of interest. So all day long, that's where the action is. So that's where it is. Now let's start. Let's do our breath work, and I'll just take a call. somebody tried to call me a couple of times. So please sit down, allow the belly to be relaxed, sit and do the thing for a little while, for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and then lie down and do it. See if you notice a change, and then hold that for about 15 minutes. Continue with the Hanuman Master Breath along with the belly breathing, and then I'll disturb you again. If there's any question, I'll take it before I go to the phone. Okay. Okay.
This what happens with me. I now started getting vibrations, and then I go into meditation.
I think he's left for his call.
Mhm.
Om. Is a seed different from what it will become, or what is supposed to become? So let's say a seed of a pine tree. Is it different from a pine tree? Or how different is a seed from a pine tree? Think about it. Isn't a seed potentially the tree? It may not appear to be so at a given moment, but essentially, isn't it that?
Yes, it is.
It is that.
It is. Yeah.
So we have a very interesting phrase, tat tvam asi. Tat tvam asi. You are that. So that which is being referred to is divinity, is godness. Nothing less. It's godness. Tat tvam asi. You are that. You are that. And you includes everyone. There is no exclusion there. Everyone is included in that. So you are that. Tat tvam asi. So I can use that also for myself. Tat tvam asi. If I'm talking to myself in that sense, tat tvam asi. So potentially everyone is like a seed. Not potentially, in a sense. Everyone is just like the seed. And just as the seed holds whatever it's going to become in the future, a human being is like a seed of divinity. A human being is like a seed of divinity, which means every human being is potentially able to become divine. So what is divinity? What is meant by divine? God is, or so-called God is said to have certain attributes. He is all powerful. He is all knowing, and is omnipresent. He is present everywhere. So potentially we also are like that. We do not see too much evidence of it because we limit ourselves. But as we begin to throw away, just as a seed, as long as the seed does not throw away the covering, the shell, it cannot sprout and then grow and then continue to grow, become a sapling and then become a small plant and then become a tree and so on. So in the case of a human being, the covering is the ego. Ego is what limits us. Because when we have this ego, it's like a coat, it's like a covering, it's a limiting thing. We need it in a certain way to protect ourselves up to a certain point of time, right? Just as a seed needs that cover to protect itself for a certain point of time. But after that, as knowledge begins to grow inside, or as awareness begins to grow, now this shell needs to break away, because now this shell it's not protecting anymore. Now the shell has become a constraint. It's become like a prison. So this shell needs to break away. This shell of the ego. Now, what is this ego? Ego is the self-identification, nothing else. Ego is nothing but self-identification. I am this, I am that, and so on and so forth. That is it. It plays a role while we are in this world and in a certain environment. It plays a certain role, a certain protective role in a sense. So, like that shell. But beyond a point, it becomes constraining. So we need to drop it so that the seed of divinity can begin to sprout in us and then grow into divinity. It's just a thought that's been playing on my mind, so I wanted to share it as I shared it. Oh, shall we lie down and do our breath work and notice any change? Notice how relaxed your belly was. Notice how easy your breath flowed sitting and lying down. Aditi ji is looking a little pensive. I
No,
think.
I tried to watch my belly more often than I might have given a shot to the Hanuman breath, because I was like, first at least get this right. But I somehow realized that my belly is largely fine.
Wow, that's good.
I don't really seem to be taking any pressures and things on the belly. I mean, at least it doesn't go tight. It doesn't. It's normal. So belly wise, I think I'm doing okay.
Oh,
But
great.
Hanuman breath wise, I don't know, because as I mentioned the other day, that the up and down thing, I don't understand it.
Don't worry.
Or maybe I'm trying to
Doesn't
look
matter.
for the
Doesn't matter. Just forget about the up, down, etc. Just bring your attention to your tailbone. Breathe out completely. First, breathe out totally. Empty your breath. And then when you breathe in, pull your in breath from the tailbone up the spine. Stomach very relaxed. Now the whole in breath has come. Stop for a moment. Allow the exhale also to start at the tailbone and move up the spine.
Yeah, when you say that, I don't know why, but my feeling is that the exhale is going down.
Okay. You are not wrong. It's not as if your feeling is wrong in any way. That doesn't matter. But after you've done the full inhale, stop the inhale, exhale, both for a brief moment.
Right.
Attention again at the tailbone and allow that exhale to happen up the spine. But the thing is, basically, this is like a circular thing. but we are trying to catch it at the tailbone and see that movement up. So just bring your attention to that. That's all. The reason is when you do this, you will be able to channel at least some part of your breath up the spine through the Sushumna. Channeling it through the Sushumna is important because every time you do any movement up the Sushumna, you help to clear the Sushumna a little more. A little more and a little more and a little more and a little more. That's all. Over time, weeks, months, maybe years, it will come to a stage when your Sushumna will flow with so much ease. You know, you'll marvel at the change that it, that your Sushumna can have gone through. But let it come when it comes. For now, focus on the easy things, the simple stuff. Allow the breath to move up the spine. Let it work its way gently, slowly, little by little, up the Sushumna as it clears a path through it. Everybody's Sushumna, especially in this, environment, both mentally, physically, pollution, etc. So everyone's Sushumna is challenged. There are issues with all of our chakras. If there are issues with the chakras, there will be issues with the Sushumna. If there are issues with the Sushumna, there will be issues with the chakras. What are these issues? What do they do? Ultimately, they become like karmic traps. They will just keep our energy stuck in the lower orbit. If the energy stays stuck in the lower orbit, our thinking, our interests, our activities, our energy is focused in these areas. More the energy is focused in these areas, more things will happen in these areas that will keep us stuck there. That's all there is to it. And what is Adhyatma? Adhyatma is basically shortening your journey or speeding up your journey towards your highest self or towards your higher self. That's it. The higher self and the lower self or whatever other self is there inside us. It's not outside. Anytime we do something that moves our energy lower, we are going in the, I would say, in the wrong direction. Anytime we say, do, experience things that lifts our energy a little, we are going in the right direction. Basically, like we said, I think yesterday, just two directions, down and up. The more we are able to channel our energy upwards and upwards and upwards and upwards, our consciousness will keep evolving little by little. Subtle changes, they will not be very evident initially. Maybe even for a period of time, because a lot of stuff that is, collected in the lower chakras, they need to be dealt with. They need to be cleared before our energy and consciousness start showing a change, an effect. But every time we do something, every time we make a conscious choice, sometimes, see, we've all heard the concept or the term conscience. We have all experienced the conscience, and we have all almost invariably ignored the conscience. Almost all of us. There are no, it's not meant for you or me or anyone in particular, but it's generally something like this happens. That's why this is Kali Yuga. So anyway, so the conscience comes, or conscience tells us once in a while to be in a certain way, to make a certain choice, to do things in a certain way. And we almost invariably not listen to it, ignore it. But as we begin to do so slowly, if we do, how will we know? When will we do it? When we are in that little calm state of mind. Because in that state, we tend to see a little clearer. When we do that, we may be able to make the choice Many people around us will caution us, will blame us, will accuse us for being stupid because we are listening to the voice of the conscience. That drama will also continue in life. Is the breath moving upwards, Aditi?
Yeah, upwards is not a problem. It's the
Okay.
other way around.
Let me show you a very interesting trick. I think that will help you move your breath up the spine a little more easily. It's what I call the lotus opening, and it's a integral part of that lotus opening program, which is actually included in some other things that I do. But let's do this for a little while, and then I'll show you how to access the lotus opening at the Manipura. Sorry, at the Muladhara. Om. Continue to channel your breath up the spine. Keep the belly very relaxed. And if you like, recall your divinity. Try to remember the seed that you are, the divine seed. Om. 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 Aditi looks a little pensive.
Yeah, I saw everybody lying down and I didn't know if that was
Okay.
what I
No, it's
was
okay.
supposed to. Okay.
No, since you do not have varicose veins, it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to be in that posture. They have varicose veins, so it'll help them a little more. It'll just get that energy moving faster.
I'm lying down because I find it easier this way.
Yeah, it's
To,
easier.
yeah,
Also,
yeah.
it'll help you with your sciatica a little, maybe not too much, but a little. It's said to be a very relaxing
Yes,
asana. So
yeah.
yeah, keep the belly relaxed and remember to use your fingers to work the belly button area, the manipura, just a little, gentle.
Lying down this way for 15 minutes is also good for piles.
Sorry, I missed the last part. Lying down like this for 15 minutes.
It's also good for piles if you have a problem
Also
of
good for piles. Okay, okay.
also.
So do you have a piles issue, Vasantiji?
No, I do not have.
Okay.
I think somebody is having, no?
I don't know if anyone mentioned here.
Yeah,
I did.
somebody.
Somebody did. Who?
Yes.
It was you, Aditiji?
No, I wasn't
No,
the one.
no.
I just
Oh, oh,
remembered
oh,
that somebody
oh, okay.
did.
Somebody did. Okay. Sharmila ji, was it you or Aruna ji?
No. I have told that whenever I faces too much stress, then I
Yes, yes,
experience
yes.
it
Then you
Ah,
feel it. Yeah, yeah,
temporarily.
yeah.
okay, okay.
So that's the thing, pile starts as a temporary thing. It comes and goes and comes and goes and comes and goes.
When I get relaxed, the piles problems over.
No, yeah. So when you do this, you will find that it also helps with the piles quite substantially.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, whenever I have if I have a piles flare up, it happens occasionally. I do a little more of this Hanuman Master Breath, and it clears out. Sometimes within hours, I start feeling the difference. But my Hanuman Master Breath is a little more advanced, if I can call it that, or a little more intense as well. So you have a little doggy at home. That's a spaniel, isn't it? That breed is a spaniel, is it? No, you're on mute. You're on mute.
He's a beagle and he
A
was
beagle.
knocking at the door incessantly, so I had to get up
Scratching.
and
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
he wants to be let in when mommy is busy.
So he wants to do some breath work as well.
He keeps on doing that. Very healthy boy. But
Healthy
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
He looks the quiet sort.
Well, he's cute, but he's not quiet.
Mm,
He
mm.
talks when there is reason to talk.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's also
So sensible.
easy. You hear him. Yeah.
Om. 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 Come, let's sit and do our thing for a little while. I think we've had this for 10-15 minutes. The Anulom Vilom. Feeling relaxed, a little more relaxed, Arunaji.
Yes.
Nice. Sharmilaji also
Yes, sir.
more relaxed. Yeah,
Yes.
nice.
Before we start with the Anulom Vilom, I had one question. When we
Ji.
do Anulom Vilom together with this Hanuman Master Breath,
Yes. In fact,
when
that's what
does one, when and how does one do what exactly? So I breathe
Okay.
in, let's say, and that is when I,
So first we block the right, exhale.
Yeah.
First empty and then fill. Then when we do the filling, since we've done done with the Hanuman Master Breath, attention is at the tailbone. Empty. Now you're free. There's nothing inside. Pull the in breath up the spine. Block the left. Exhale up the spine. Exhale happen. Inhale up the spine. Block the right. Exhale with the left up the spine. Inhale with the left up the spine. Block the left. Exhale with the right up the spine. Continue. Anulom Vilom is also known as Nadi Shodhan. That means a technique that cleanses the nadis. So it's good. And when you combine it with the Hanuman Master Breath, it becomes in a sense like a internal vacuum cleaner on a bit of a, what is that medicine called? Like a bit on a steroids because it becomes a little more powerful. Vasanti ji has done a course on Shwaskosh Shuddhi Kriya to cleanse the lungs. So she should now combine this with some of the techniques shared in the Shwaskosh Shuddhi Kriya, especially the Krishna's flute maneuver.
Yeah.
है ना? Are you
Yeah.
clear about the Krishna's flute maneuver?
Yes. Step by step on each chakra we have to.
Yes. Yeah. But now your focus is not just on squeezing at a chakra, but to do the squeeze at the Sushumna. Now, doing the squeezes at the Sushumna is a little more difficult because you don't feel the muscles as clearly there as you do in the rest of the body. Doesn't matter. Continue doing it. When you do this, you will find that your breathing becomes much smoother almost immediately. Aditi ji, if you like, you can ask Vasanti ji to teach you the Krishna's flute maneuver later, or you can watch the videos that I've sent Vasanti ji. She'll forward them to you. I'm going to stop the recording now, and then I will tell you about the lotus opening. Om. Om. It's subtle, but it's very effective. If it happens, you will notice a change in the quality of your breath. If you do, tell me, and tell me what is the difference you notice. No, it's not happening for anyone?
I don't know if it was because of this or that, but my breathing has become softer.
Yes. Smoother.
Yeah, smoother. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. That's a sign that it's happened. I didn't want to say it because then I wouldn't get the, the response, or it would kind of, preempt it. So I waited for you to say it. Anyone else felt it?
No, sir.
No, nothing at all. Nothing at all.
I'm just doing Hanuman breath, that much I can feel, but nothing beyond that.
So allow that gentle relaxation to happen at the tailbone. Do you know where the tailbone is?
Yes.
It is just behind the anal opening, just behind that. So you don't do anything with the anal opening. This is purely the tailbone. Allow a gentle relaxation over there. Let your breath continue to move up. Om. Arunaji, I think you were about to say something when I continued to talk. Om. Hmm? Om. नो, किसी और के नोटिस में नहीं आया? बसंती जी, अरुणा जी? Doesn't matter. अब ये नहीं भी आया तो कोई बात नहीं. As you continue through the rest of the day and tomorrow, थोड़ा observe करिएगा, and then let me know if something comes into your experience. Right? So shall we end for today? Let's do 3 ohms and then sign out for today. Slow deep breath. Try to channel the breath up the spine when you do the om. Right. Let's end for today, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.
Namaste.